Well, we continue our coverage of the killing of Osama bin Laden, and we're joined this morning by New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who has spent many hours working with family members of those lost on 9/11 and helping first responders who have had health problems related to Ground Zero. Senator, thanks for coming in this morning. We've seen a number of the images this morning of the people celebrating here in New York and also in Washington and other parts around the country. What does this mean for the people of New York in particular to have something like this happen?
Well, it's a moment of justice for New Yorkers. So many people lost loved ones on 9/11, and this is an opportunity for them to celebrate a victory against terrorism, against those who perpetrated attacks on the people they love. And I was just watching some of the clips from people who were at Ground Zero last night when the news broke, and they said, we will never forget 9/11, but we will also never forget May 1st. And so it's a moment of triumph that I think is very important for New Yorkers.
To see this and to see this kind of emotion, I know you deal a lot with firefighters, their families, first responders. I know you've spoken with some. What is their general sense and their feeling?
Well, I talked to John Field this morning, who is one of the great advocates who literally came to Washington week after week to knock on doors to make sure these first responders could get the basic health care they need to survive and to afford the terrible treatments they need for the diseases they have. But he just said, he's been up all night because this has been something that he's fought for, that, all of his colleagues have been wishing for. But it's, some measure is a measure of closure, some measure is a measure of justice, but they just feel like it's one for the good guys. And I think it's a great thing for all of us in America today.
You've spoken with the New York Police Commissioner Ray Kelly this morning. What is the heightened security now going on in this city?
Well, as we know from the news reports, the Commissioner Kelly has made judgments about the increased risk that the city will face. You have to recognize since 9/11, there's been 12 terror attempts. And because of our extraordinary police force, our FBI, and all those who focus on national security, we've been able to thwart those attempts. And so he wants to make sure everyone stays vigilant, that if you see something, report it. Even a year ago, just tomorrow, is the attempt on Times Square. And that was reported by a regular guy, a regular street vendor who saw something, reported it, and that allowed our police force to keep New York safe. So people need to be on alert, and law enforcement are making the adjustments that they feel are necessary.
What was your reaction when you found out that he'd been killed?
Just extraordinary joy. I think President Obama has showed dedication, resolve. He has never given up on this issue. President Obama has made sure this was a priority for our intelligence services, for our military, and this operation, I think, made a huge difference. And we have terrorism on every front. Al-Qaeda has metastasized into an international organization that's done remote operations from Pakistan, Yemen, worldwide. And so this victory is very important in our quest to keep America safe and to really prevail against terrorists and terrorist forces across the world.
Can I just ask you just real quickly about the relationship with the U.S. and Pakistan? I mean, it seems by all accounts that he was hiding in the open.
Well, I was in Pakistan just in November of last year, and the reality is that we have had a very push-me, pull-me relationship with Pakistan for a long time. We have invested billions of dollars in that country, but when we ask them to run certain operations, we don't always get the answer that we want. I think this operation, and President Obama said it was in the heart, the deep inside Pakistan. It was just a few miles in one of the suburbs outside of Islamabad. And our intelligence services were able to see it because this compound had very high walls, very large for the area, and they were able to know that this was probably where he was hiding.
Senator, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it.